Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm just back. I wanted to pop on in and do another quick video of something that was on my mind. Guys, I want you to know that the curriculum that you're using is your decision. I want you to know the subjects that you decide to teach within your home, especially electives, although many, but depending on your state, may be required of you. That's your decision. Your approach, your method, your techniques to teaching, may it be traditional, eclectic, Charlotte Mason, unschooling, whatever terminology you want to use to describe your approach to going through this homeschooling journey or after-schooling journey is completely up to you. You are unique. And how you decide to educate your children is up to you and your household. Okay, so let me say that. I wanted to talk to you guys about homeschooling your way. Ladies, gentlemen, whoever is watching this video, please homeschool your way. Homeschool your way. It doesn't matter how somebody else is homeschooling, after schooling. It doesn't matter what somebody else is doing in terms of how they are facilitating their home education or their learning journey with them and their kiddos. All that matters is what you are doing. Yes, it's great. Just because I use a lot of different curriculum because I am very detailed oriented. I am a project manager by nature and by profession, along with some other stuff. I like to get a hodgepodge of stuff and kind of put them together and create things that work for me based on our goals and our objectives for our homeschooling journey, right? That doesn't mean you have to do the same. If you are a box curriculum type of gal and you want to open a box and everything is laid out for you, do that. If you want to select curriculum where you can open and go and read verbatim what to say, do that. If you want to use a curriculum that is video based, do that. If you want to use a curriculum that is primarily online, or you want to do a co-op, or you want to do homeschooling where, you know, the child goes to an actual location for a few days a week and you know, homeschool a few days a week, making sure they complete their assignments, do that. I want you to do what works for you as parent, your schedule, your child's interest, your child's learning style. That is all that matters. With that said, I also want to give you some encouragement and motivation in terms of making sure that in the midst of all that, it's not important to use curriculum from beginning to end. And secondly, it's not important to finish curriculum. Let me explain what I mean by that, because it kind of sounds the same, right? When I say it's not really important to use curriculum from beginning to end, you want to ask yourself, I started off the year with this particular piece of curriculum. Is it working? The approach that they're taking, is it resonating with my child? Does my child dread when it's time for that particular subject because of that curriculum? Is it too intensive? Is it too easy? Is it using the wrong approach based on your child's learning style? If it's not a match, you don't have to use it from beginning to end. You can pick out pieces that work, and you can just, or you can just toss it and find something else. Don't force your child, don't force yourself to go through a piece of curriculum because you purchased it, or because somebody else is using it and it seems to work great, and then you're second guessing yourself thinking, maybe I'm doing something wrong. It just may not fit. Switch it. If the curriculum takes you more than a year to complete it and you want to finish it off, then do that. There's nothing that says you have to finish it within 1 year or within 9 months. Who says that? Who makes up that rule? The authors of the curriculum just gives you a schedule, and they tell you if you do so many lessons per day and you pace it this way, then you should be able to finish it. Keyword, should be able to finish it. Don't feel pressured to do that. Many of our curriculum will take me more than a year. The majority will take us about 14 months to complete, and maybe 15 months. And that's because of the pace that we take. We don't do every subject every single day. We don't do electives every single week. Sometimes we have to skip a week for whatever reason. So it's okay. Also, you don't have to finish the curriculum in this sense as well. If, it comes to the end of your academic year, whatever that may be, you may ask yourself, okay, we have 30 chapters left, 20 chapters left. How many? It doesn't matter. Whatever remaining chapters you have, you want to bear in mind that especially if you're using curriculum within the same family, then you're going to get a refresher of the end of the prior curriculum the next year. So technically it may be okay to skip whatever chapters you did not complete. Don't worry about completing it, because the following year, again, if you're within the same family of curriculum, they're going to do a review. Okay. Something else you may want to consider is when you are doing your curriculum, or when you are going through your curriculum, you want to pay attention to what your child may be struggling with, what they're not mastering. If mastery is something you have as a requirement within your homework expectation, you may want to pull out concepts, stop with the curriculum, and do a mini unit study for about a week on that particular topic or that particular concept within the book. We do that many of times. There are many of times, especially in math and in science or in language arts, if there is a topic or concept that my child is not mastering, because mastery is our expectation within our homeschool. We don't move on until it's mastered. As you can see with what I document as part of our homeschooling journey, I use a lot of different curriculum. I like a hodgepodge of information from textbooks, resources, literature, worksheets, workbooks, online resources. I use a lot of different stuff because of our goals within our homeschool. I am not laser focused on teaching my children specific information in a specific way, excuse me, using specific information, okay? Hope that's clear. I want to make sure that my children have a wide frame of reference. I want to give my children an opportunity to look at various topics and subjects from various lenses in effort to develop their thought processes and to help develop their biblical worldview and their worldly worldview. That's why you will see that for science, as an example, I will teach them creation because of our faith, but eventually I'm going to teach them about evolution so that they're able to understand that aspect, talk intelligently and confidently to someone who may not believe what they believe in, and they're able to defend their. Please don't allow the judgment of others to cause you to second guess what you're doing, what you're using, your approach, your method, and your style to educating your children. We are all different. Our goals are different. Your purpose for homeschooling may be different from someone else's, but someone else's judgment or their feedback should not dictate how you do things, nor should that judgment or friendly feedback cause you to feel bad or second guess the things that I just mentioned. We are all different. We are all unique. Our children's learning styles may differ. Therefore, it may necessitate that our approach, our techniques, our methods, our style, the curriculum that we use, it may necessitate that we tailor those things to our individual children, to our unique circumstances. And that is okay. Again, I want to tell you that it is cool and that it is okay to compare the things that you are using to others for the purpose of research, for the purpose of finding something that may stick. It is quite okay to find others that inspire you to continue your journey of self-educating. However, you don't want it to dictate everything you're doing, because it may not match who you are. It may not match the dynamics of your household. It may not match the personality or different personalities within, your home. If you look at my journey, and if you look at the videos that I released to you guys, we use a lot of homeschooling materials and resources from various perspectives. And I want you to know that that's intentional. Based on our homeschool style, my approach, our goals, it requires us to look at information from various lenses, various perspectives. Okay? I don't want my children to see something from one lens. I want to give them a buffet of information, of course based on their learning capacity, but I want to give them a buffet of information, and based on what we're learning, they're going to learn those different pieces. Okay, some may be in a compartmentalized way, and some information may not be. But the point is, we want our children to have a wide perspective of information so that they can decipher, analyze, assess, synthesize, determine what is correct, what is incorrect, what is truth, what is opinion, what is fact. We also want to make sure, in terms of religion, our beliefs, that our children are grounded within our morals, values, and belief systems. But just because that's what we want, we also know that it is important for them to learn and know about other religions that are out there after they are provided a firm foundation in our belief system. We want them to be able to speak confidently and engage in conversation about other subjects or beliefs, so that they are able to defend their faith confidently, eloquently, based on truth and not facts. Okay, so guys, homeschool your way. That's the being African American, I want to absolutely teach culture to my children. Our culture, African American culture, African culture. I want to teach my children about the cultures of other people. I want to make sure my children understand that Anglo-Saxon or European standards or history is not the only thing available. It's not the only thing there. And because of that, you will see that I have a lot of African-centered, African-American-centered, however you want to name that. I have a lot of resources and curriculum. And we even have a subject within our learning journey that we separate from all other subjects that I want to incorporate. Within our homeschooling journey. Whether my son and daughter or children continue with the homeschooling journey or they go to public school, African studies, African American history is something that we're going to teach. I'm going to make sure that we learn about. Some people within the Black and brown community may disagree in terms of making it a separate subject. Some people believe that it should be a part of everything that you do. Some people believe that it should not be separated because European history, isn't separated. It's a part of everything that we learn in every subject. And I get that point. I completely understand. But for me and my household, to make sure that we emphasize on that particular topic and subjects and content, we decide to do it separately. Is that wrong? Absolutely not. Do I care if others have criticism, judgment, or friendly feedback on it? I really don't care. Because I know our goals, I know what we expect, I know what we're doing, I know the foundation we want to build, and that's the way we choose to do it. And also being transparent within the Black and brown community, some folks may believe that, the curriculum that I'm using is too European centric, or the African American text that I'm using, some of them may be written by Anglo-Saxons or Europe. I have materials authored by people that look like me and people who don't look like me. And I'm not going to not use something because the author doesn't specifically look like me, okay, or speak from my perspective. I want you to know that within our homeschool, we want to teach from various lenses and perspectives. I want to know what history says about people that look like me from those who look like me and from those who don't. I want to know history, as an example, from the perspective and from the lens of the conquered and from the conqueror. Not only African American history, but also the history of the Native Americans, the history of Mexicans, the Jews, the Chinese. What happened to them, or what does history say about them? What does history say about them? From the lens of those who are within that community, from that community, and from the lens of those who conquered those communities. And to do that, we have to use various resources, various texts, literature, and so forth to make that come to life. And again, that's how I choose to do it. So I'm just bringing that up specifically because I know within the Black and brown community, I do get a few emails here and there or comments for those particular things. Some people feel as though they're not doing enough. Some people feel as though they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to do. Some people feel as though, some folks feel as though judgment is being passed because of their approach or method to incorporating that specific thing. Some people really don't. I hope that your children will receive a foundation in who they are, and I hope that if you're in that situation, you are being intentional about teaching your children pre-colonization. You're being intentional about making sure your children see images that look like them, that you're having conversations with them, so that they don't grow up with a misconception of who they are, the community they belong to, the issues that impact them, and how they're displayed, in various areas of life. But your approach, your method, your technique, your curriculum, guys, that's up to you. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for what you choose to use or what you choose not to use. Just homeschool your way. Keep homeschooling on. You are great at what you do, even if you don't feel like it. Even if you don't feel like you are well organized, or you may not feel like, you're going down the right path because things aren't, being put together like a puzzle right now. That's okay. It takes time. It takes years. I'm still learning. I am still researching. I make mistakes every single day. I get tired every single day. And it's okay. We're doing this together, guys. We are in this thing together, you and I. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go. Love on yourself, love on your kiddos, speak life into your situation, speak life into your children, speak life into your spouse, yourself, your loved ones. As always, be blessed and make it a great day. Bye.